Madam Speaker, I rise to respond to the question raised by Honorable Nathani Rika. Madam Speaker, the Ministry of Fisheries and Forests have been allocated 26.3 million to carry out its responsibilities to promote the sustainable development and management of Fiji's fisheries and forest resources. First, let me read out my ministry's new vision and elaborate on it. Our new vision states, quote, "The leader in fisheries and forest sustainable innovation for small island economies." The vision builds upon and furthers the horizon of our former vision, which states our future generation will inherit a sustainable fisheries and forestry sector. Sustainability is the key word in both the old and the new vision. But the new words that broaden the horizon of the new vision are leader, innovation, and small island economies. Madam Speaker, Fiji is already leading in many fronts. The pearl industry is an example, and the successful establishment of mahogany plantations, and the collaboration with communities on the establishment of pine plantations are just some examples. Madam Speaker, for the sustainability component, we will be moving further from merely supporting livelihoods in rural areas into empowering our resource owners and creating environments that enables them to get wealthy from their own resources. As for innovation, we are refocusing the way we do our work to strengthen our research and development activities. In this regard, all our specialist divisions now come under a Director for Research and Development. The focus on research will be centered in the areas of aquaculture, inshore fisheries, waste wood utilization, wood energy, and reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation. This innovation will enable and empower our stakeholders to generate greater value for the same resources at an economical cost, satisfying both the needs and expectations of our customers. Madam Speaker, we are also strengthening our divisions by empowering them with the policy and planning staff to work collaboratively with the respective commissioners and divisional planners to drive all developments in the divisions. We are also strengthening our trade and manufacturing activity by having a more senior officer totally responsible for looking after each accounts to realize our vision. My ministry is currently reviewing its organization structure to be able to align itself to better deliver against its new vision. Madam Speaker, there is a considerable commitment towards aligning the ministry key policy objectives and outputs to global and national development priorities. Our activities under the 2016 Annual Corporate Plan is aligned with 8 Sustainable Development Goals, 6 pillars under the People's Charter for Change, Peace and Prosperity, the 3 pillars, social, economic, and environmental under the Green Growth Framework for Fiji, and 7 outcomes under the Roadmap for Democracy and Sustainable Socio-Economic Development. Madam Speaker, the 2 recent bills that were passed by Cabinet, one the Forestry Bill and secondly the Aquaculture Bill, are both necessary legislations that will provide my ministry with an enabling environment for implementing policies geared towards the new vision and foster the much needed economic growth. Madam Speaker, these very changes are required to bring about the necessary development and innovation which would make our new vision conceivable. This in turn will be fostering wealth creation that will lead to improved livelihoods in rural communities. My ministry will drive changes in both the fisheries and forest sectors to continue providing a conducive environment for generation of wealth. On a broader scale, we will continue with our innovative research and development to achieving leadership status with small island developing states. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary question, Honorable Vunivalu.
Can the Minister be more specific in describing the new areas of focus in research and development to realize the Ministry's new vision? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Minister.
Madam Speaker, as I have mentioned earlier, we will be strengthening research and development in both fisheries and forest sector. The major areas in innovative research for forestry will be focusing on biomass energy and landowners' compensation for conservation efforts under the REDD+ project. My ministry is further diversifying into a totally new area in forestry, such as growing wood biomass for wood energy, generating energy from wood biomass using fast-growing tree species, invasive tree species, and wood waste, has the benefits of reducing our fuel import bill. Currently, my ministry is working with companies to collectively supply 27.8 megawatts of power annually to the national grid using energy from wood biomass. Another innovative area is reducing emissions from deforestation and forest degradation through conservation and sustainable management of our forests. The new idea is to compensate forest owners for maintaining their trees instead of clearing them. A total of $3.6 million was granted to Fiji under the World Bank to put in place a framework to develop this area further, with a target of having Fiji ready to go into carbon trading from 2019 onwards. Madam Speaker, as for the fishery sector, innovative research is now focusing on aquaculture development by creating economic opportunities for rural communities. The growth of tilapia and prawn farming is attributed to the ministry's efforts in supporting research and developing the industry to improve cultivation. The recent commissioning of the new multi-species hatchery in Ra by the Hon Prime Minister will see an increase in production and further open up opportunities for employment and the establishment of aquaculture export markets. On product development, Madam Speaker, my ministry will assist communities through value-adding programs for commercially exploited fish species, seaweed products, and ornamental entrepreneurial designs for pearl shells. The Fisheries Department will provide technical training and advisory support to local fishermen in this regard. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Supplementary question. I'll give the floor to the Honourable Ngaboko.
Madam Speaker, we'd rather these come as ministerial statements as opposed to answers to questions, because there's a lot in there that need to be dealt with. However, on this biomass initiative, where our people are going to grow this fast-growing wood that would be used as fuel, it's happening in Nandronganabosa, Madam Speaker. What kind of formula, or what kind of structure are you putting in place to ensure the supply of this wood to the processor, i.e., how are the landowners part of this? Are they going to have contracts to supply this wood to the supplier, or will the processor lease vast swaths of land, grow it himself, and process it himself? This is very contentious with us in Nandronganabosa. What is the formula? Are people going to have contracts to supply, or are they just going to give you land and the processor grows, harvests, and process?
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, it will be the combination of both. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. I now give the floor to the Honourable Moses Simbultabu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I thank the Honourable Minister for his answer this morning, but my question will be very simple in regards to sustainability. What are the plans the Ministry has in regards to the need for logging and logging companies that are there, and the need by landowners to harvest their logs? And you're talking about sustainability, at the same time focusing on REDD+, but there is no clear agreement on how these investors will, what kind of lease instrument will bind the REDD+ agreement. What plans are there in the Ministry to see that there is no overlogging?
Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, as I've already mentioned in the plan, it's clearly laid out the participation of landowner. Therefore, my ministry will ensure that they participate meaningfully in the utilization of their resources. Thank you.